What's up, everybody? My name is Jacob Hardison, and today I'm going to teach you how to build a Pillowball upright. Welcome back, everybody, to, of course, the lovely Adrenaline RC YouTube channel, where today we are going to go over how to properly build your steering upright with Pillowballs. Now, this is something that I see fairly common across the board, whether it be a ready-to-run vehicle, something like an Arma, or even our race kits, where these Pillowballs get installed way too tight and basically make for a very, very inefficient steering and suspension setup, because of course, if this is binding, your suspension isn't going to be able to move as freely. So it's going to be very important that you get these installed correctly. Basically, what happens if you build it too tight is you make your steering very inefficient, because now it can't steer side to side very well. As I was saying before, it also makes it to where the suspension can't work as well. Plus, you're going to add a lot of extra wear and tear to the components of the vehicle, whether it be the actual upright and Pillowballs themselves or the steering servo, because it's going to have to work a lot harder to be able to get the car to steer. Something that you can see potentially on the track or even off the track if you're doing bashing is that the steering can basically feel very sticky, and it's not going to want to come back to center very well, and it's going to constantly feel like it's drifting one way or the other because, like I said, it can't come back to center. So it's very, very important to make sure that this is operating correctly. As you can see in front of me, I have maimed my e-buggy here to disassemble the upright, and I'm going to go over the process of how I make sure that I have them installed correctly, and so that way I can have the most successful trip to the track. Not going to be a crazy long video today. It is relatively straightforward, but it is something that, like I said, can be very, very easily messed up. So without further ado, we'll switch you guys around to my kind of behind overhead view, and we'll go over how to build your Pillowball upright. All right, so here we are in the hot seat once again with my upright in front of us, fully disassembled, and the only tool that we will need. This here is a factory team 5mm hex driver, and the important thing about this is, I don't know if you can see it very well in the camera, but it's got this ledge here, which is gonna make it to where when we put our big giant set screw on it, it can't fall down. If you are using just the standard L wrench, something you can do, and the L wrench is what comes with the kits, and it should come with the ready to run stuff as well. But what you'll do is you'll take the end of it with just a little bit of space here. You'll go ahead, wrap tape behind it, and then that makes it to where you have a stop just like I have here. But in this case, it's just a 5mm hex driver, and that is all we're gonna need to be able to get this job done. So we'll take our upright here, take our first Pillowball, slide it right on in there. Nothing crazy to that part just yet. And on, I believe, every single upright, there might be one or two that are slightly different, but you will 9 times out of 10 have this plastic bushing, which basically makes it to where the Pillowball can kind of ride on the inside of this rather than the inside of the metal set screw. So all we'll do is plop that in there, make sure it's nice and level. Then we can take our lovely set screw, retaining screw, whatever it is you want to call it, and we're just going to install it straight on in. Now, what is going to be very important here, and I'll see if I can't move that real quick, get a better view. It's very easy to get these in crooked. So you can see with the way it's sitting right now, obviously I haven't threaded anything in yet, but it is sitting in crooked. So if you were to thread it in like that, then you're going to, like I was saying earlier, you're going to get an inconsistent steering. It's going to have more bind on this side than it is this back side here. So it's going to be important you get this nice and level. A lot of times it does take me a couple of tries to be able to get it nice and straight, but it's very important you get it in there all squared up. That way, again, everything is as efficient and smooth as possible. So take my set screw here, and I'm just going to kind of work it in. Now in this case, because I've already threaded this, it does go in nice and level, but like I said, a lot of times it can go in crooked side to side or crooked up and down. You want to make sure it's as level as possible, and the way you'll know that is if you tilt your upright just at a 90 degree basically to what it normally would be, you can kind of use this side as a reference to get an idea. Now, obviously, there is a little bit of extra material here that's going to make the upright itself slightly off and not be perfectly flat. but at least this very top portion here is flat, so I can use that as a reference to make sure that this is going in flat. Once you do have it going in flat and level, what I like to do is I'll hold my pillow ball in the up position, and then I'll thread this in until that basically doesn't move, just like that. So we're nice and tight there. And actually, for just reference, I'll go a touch tighter, and even though it moves, it's very, very tight. You can see it's not able to just fall down and basically move around freely. So you're gonna take your screwdriver and very slowly back it off. You see it starts to drop there, and now it's dropped down to the bottom. From here, once it drops down to the bottom, you can pick it up, and you see that it drops all the way down without having any sort of bind whatsoever. That's what you're looking for, and there should be just a little bit of slop in and out. So again, you want it to be able to drop nice and free. You can kind of fling this around a little bit, moves around nice and free. There's nothing binding it, and you've got just a teeny bit of play in and out. Just like this top one here, we'll take our bottom one, drop it in, put our plastic bushing into it. And something I didn't say before is it's kind of shaped a little bit like a top hat. You want the wider side to be going in. The back side, of course, will have this kind of more round shape to it, which does work with the round pillow ball. You want that to be on the pillow ball side and the flat side of it facing outwards. Take our lower retaining screw, just like before. Oh, if I don't drop it. But just like before, we want it to go in as level as possible. So you can kind of tilt it straight up and down just like that. Thread it in. Do just a couple of threads, get a reference, use this bottom side here to make sure that it is going in flat and it's not going in crooked into any fashion. Once you can confirm that, we can take our pillow ball, hold it in the up position, tighten down our lower screw until now our pillow ball can't move at all. Slowly back it down. See, it starts to drop back a little bit more, drops all the way. We'll put it back up to the top, and we can see that we are nice and free. We'll double check, make sure there's a teeny bit of play in and out, of which there is, and that is all there is to it. That is how you properly set up your upright to where you can have the most efficient steering and suspension on any of your vehicles, whether it be for racing or for bashing. From this point here, we are ready to throw it onto the car and start ripping around the track. If you guys have any questions about this or want me to go over anything any further, definitely let me know in the comments below. And of course, as always, if you have any recommendations or requests for a future video, make sure you let me know, and I will make sure to get those done as soon as possible. But that'll conclude us for today's video. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next week for an all-new video.